So let's take a look at this ABC News scandal. I deal with it on my No Spin News television broadcast, but I'm going to deal with it a little bit more micro here. Okay, because I got about 10, 12 minutes here that I can just spend on one subject. So the guy, the White House correspondent named Terry Moran, been at ABC for 28 years. I was doing some calculations. I guess he was a new reporter when I was there as a correspondent working for Peter Jennings. I did not know Moran, okay, because I left to do to anchor Inside Edition in the late 80s, and then I went from there to Harvard to get a degree in public administration, and then I went to Fox to do the O'Reilly Factor. Meanwhile, Moran did very well at ABC and rose up to be White House correspondent. Now, when you are the White House correspondent, and the best example of this is Brit Hume, who's now a commentator, you're supposed to be a reporter and look for both sides of the situation. It's not what happens anymore. These White House correspondents make their name for attacking the president. That's how you make your name. Dan Rather started that with Nixon. And then Sam Donaldson, Dan Rather for CBS, Donaldson for ABC, carried that on with Reagan. So Rather obviously despised Nixon, and Donaldson, I want to use the word despise, I don't know if that's accurate, but he thought that Reagan was a third-rate mind. He was really above Reagan. That was Donaldson. I saw it in person when I was in a Washington bureau doing a story down there, and Donaldson came in and was mocking Reagan. I saw it, which, he's entitled to do off the air. It's his opinion. But on the air, if you're a White House correspondent, you're supposed to report fairly. That means you got to give, well, this is what this guy wants to do, but this is what this guy wants to do, that kind of thing. So Moran attacked Stephen Miller, Trump's main advisor. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but he just says Miller's a hater, he hates everything, and that Trump's a hater too, so that's why they get along. Okay. Now, if you're a commentator like me, you can do that. I wouldn't do it. I didn't do it with Obama. I didn't do it with any president. I didn't do it with Biden. I said, Biden's the second worst president. That's not a hater. I back it up in my book, Confronting the Presidents. Okay, you don't have to agree with me. But again, I'm a commentator. I'm not a reporter. Not what I'm doing. So Moran posts this on X. You can't. So Disney, which has a long history of hating Trump. Remember, Disney had to settle. George Stephanopoulos said Trump was a racist. Trump sued him for defamation, $15 million. ABC gives Trump for his library. And then The View, you know what that is every day. That's ABC News. And now you got Moran, a top White House correspondent, saying that Trump's a hater and Miller's a hater. So they suspend Moran indefinitely. They're not going to fire him. I don't think they'll fire him, but you don't know. So Disney, which owns ABC, I mean, how more militant can you get about Donald Trump? Everybody in your organization hates him. Mickey Mouse hates him. Snow White hates him. Come on. What are you doing? Now, CBS. So CBS is being sued by Trump because Trump alleges that they took a Kamala Harris interview on 60 Minutes and edited it to make her look better, which is true. Okay, I saw it. I'm in the business 50 years. That's what CBS did. Why? Because 60 Minutes hates Trump. You don't believe me? Here's Scott Pelley, who's the head guy on 60 Minutes. Go.
It has been a busy day for presidential statements divorced from reality. Mr. Trump said this morning that any polls that show disapproval of his immigration ban are fake. He singled out a federal judge for ridicule after the judge suspended his ban, and Mr. Trump said that the ruling now means that anyone can enter the country. The president's claims, whether imaginary or fabricated, are now worrying even his backers.
And that's not reporting, that's commentary. Okay, what backers are worried? Who? But that's what Pele has done. That was in 2017. It's now 2025. 8 years. And Pele was the anchor of the CBS Evening News until Norah O'Donnell took over. And then Norah got waxed. And now Pele is this guy from 60 Minutes who every week slams Trump. This is CBS. NBC. It's not even considering. They have a whole network, MSNBC, and all it does is hate Trump. Go.
Well, the crisis facing this country and the world tonight is the complete collapse of mental acuity in the President of the United States, the current president.
It's absurd. Is he talking about Biden? No, he's talking about Trump. Now, I speak with President Trump, you know that, and it's policy, but sometimes, it's personal stuff because I've known him 35 years. There's no collapse of mental acuity. O'Donnell doesn't know Donald Trump. He hates him. And NBC allows it all day, every day, the whole network. Okay, so you got ABC, you got CBS, you got NBC, all hating Donald Trump. Here is the irony of life. That hatred has destroyed those networks in the news area. I will now back it up. Now, how often on YouTube do you hear opinions backed up? How? How often? Not often. And if you want to dispute that, bill@BillO'Reilly.com, bill@BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Give me some examples. People that speak to you on YouTube who back it up. Okay, so let's look at the evening news. There's 3 evening news, as you know. 2014, ABC had 8 million viewers a night on average. Okay? Now it has about 7 million. They've lost 1 million. Not terrible, but you lose 1 million. CBS had 6.8 million in 2014. Now it has 4.5 million. That's big. Big. NBC had almost 9 million, more than ABC in 2014. Now it has less than ABC. NBC went from 9 million, to 6.8 million. And a lot of that is MSNBC. So non-liberal Americans, independents, libertarians, traditionals, conservatives, 4 areas, non-liberal. They're not watching any of them because it's a waste of their time. Why do they want to hear Rachel Maddow every day say Trump's the devil? We got it, Rachel. We got it. We don't need it said 10,000 times. You got a story that you feel is interesting, that's hurting the American people, and you can back it up with facts? Let's hear it. That's fine. But every night? Come on. Okay, in the morning, this is the big cash cow for the networks, the morning, because they're so long. I think Good Morning America now goes from 4 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon or something. It's crazy because it's cheap and they make money. So 2014, Good Morning America had 4.7 million viewers. Now it has 2.8. Catastrophe. NBC Today Show, 6 million in 14, 2.8. They're tied. Catastrophe. Okay. CBS this morning never had an audience, 2.7 in 14. Now it's about 2 million. Some nights, some mornings below 2 million. Now, all of these news agencies have changed their personnel, they've changed their sets, they have bells and whistles. Nothing's working. And nothing will work. They are through as a major influence in the United States of America. And I'm kind of sad. I work for CBS News, I worked local WCBS TV in New York. Excellent experience. I worked under rather not an excellent experience for me. I didn't like it at all. I worked for ABC under Peter Jennings for 2 years. Appeared on World News more than 100 times. Jennings and I got along great. He was a mentor. I admired his style. And he's a liberal man, but he didn't allow that to intrude on what he did on the air. So this is a pretty big deal, but Americans don't care because they're on the phone. They're in YouTube. They're watching me here. They don't care. But historically, it's an important story. Thank you very much for watching this YouTube bonus. We'll see you again later this week. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.